I bought a BB built in Tembisa. She's stretching her legs just like Dr. Malinga. In Harare we have a lot of cable stealers. Okay, 5 years ago I was not Luh Twizzy. I was posted in Limpopo watching Mordecai and Rigby. I'm using black magic.
Hello my people. My name is Nosibos Milan and welcome to Color Me Gray. So, as you can probably tell, I am very sick. As you can tell from my voice, I have flu. I'm very congested and it's been like this for the past week, and now I'm in the recovery phase. I hope I'm in the recovery phase. But anyways, I decided to do a short video this week because I didn't have time to prepare, because I thought I was dying. I'm being a little bit melodramatic, but I thought I was dying. Everyone thinks they're dying when they're sick. So I thought I was thinking today's video could be a bit shorter, sweeter, and so on and so forth. So today we're going to be talking about a rampaging group called the Luh Twizzy or Luh Twizzies, depending on what you know them. So let's get into the video. Oh, how do you like my new setup? I've been moving around things in my room and I've been thinking, like, how should I put things? In my bed it's fine, but I want to sit down, I want to relax, and I think this chair is fine and it's easier because I'm sat on a chair. Like, I don't have to posture myself unknowingly. I think it's fine. Okay, I'll try talking in my normal voice, but the vocal crack or the vocal thingy, it just keeps coming up because I am so sick. But I'll try talking in my normal voice because I know people hate when people talk like this. So yeah, so Luh Twizzy video. What are they? So people who are Luh Twizzies are said to be people who happen to be going to school. So 2000 teenagers, and yeah, so how do they meet up? Schools have an opening and closing date. Everyone knows that. During when schools are closed, they have a lot of spare time to themselves, so they just meet up and they create chaos. I want to talk about that later. For now, we're still describing what Luh Twizzies are. So these people originally originated from the rapper Yeat. Then they became as big as he is. Most of them listen to Playboy Carti, Yeat himself, and other rappers. So they dress similar, almost have like a cultish or a, what is this one called? A hive-like mindset, so they think the same. People say they're very cultish, but I don't think they are. It's just kids. Anything that kids say, someone will say it's very cult-like. So I don't think they're very cultish. So let's get that out of the way right now. They usually dress in Y2K, so low-rise jeans, chunky platforms, and like huge belts and trucker hats, you know, things like that. Big chains, like those Y2K rappers. A lot of, I forgot what it's called, but that. So other people call them the modern day skhothane. I would call them modern day skhothane. You see, like a skhothane. And see, when those used to be popular, it's like they used to listen to Migos, Quavo, you see. So, luckily for me, I was never one of those. I don't think I even wanted to be one of those. I don't think I even had a chance to be one of those. I'm good at where I am. I don't know how I reached to that, but I will call them normal skhothane. But the Luh Twizzies take it up a notch by actually doing horrific things. and we'll talk about that later. So, a Luh Twizzy is a term used to describe a young person who dresses Y2K fashion inspired with a vamp aesthetic. So, the vamp aesthetic in urban hip hop culture or pop culture is like a pop punk aesthetic inspired with the clothing male vampires would wear. So your grays, your dark grays, your navy blues, your dark blues, your blacks, your whites, but it's mostly black and whites. If you see, for example, I would say Twilight, what Edward wears, that's it. Or any kind of movie where there's like a vampire, they always dress in black, very dim. Everything is like that. So most of them were clad in black, covering their faces. So balaclavas, I don't know how they wear balaclavas when it's so hot. You'll find someone wearing a balaclava and you look at the weather and it tells you 37 degrees and you're like, what? It's 37 degrees Celsius and you're wearing a fucking black balaclava just because you want to be aesthetic. Nah, bro. Anyways, so they're teenagers and fans, and they describe the music as an embodiment of their personal and political freedom, and that's how they describe themselves. We'll go on to we've described the Luh Twizzies and what they are. We'll go on to why I want to talk about them today. The reason I want to talk about them today is because every time they are trending, it's because they are causing havoc at some mall. Like some mall in Joburg or whichever city, they always causing disruption or something. The thing is, these people, they meet in large groups, heavily large groups. They meet up and they start to run around for some reason. Every time I see a video of them, they're always running somewhere. Where are you going? Why are you running?
Hey! Hey! Why are you running? Why are you running?
Every time I see them, it's just that, and I'm so confused to why. And yeah, so there's a challenge called the Luh Twizzy challenge, which became popular on TikTok by these boys, and it's where teenagers storm a mall, cause chaos, and leave. So an example of this is the teenagers are seen in a cramped single escalator as mall users take videos of them, of course, because there's parents in the mall. The parents are like, okay, what is happening here? And yeah, so a very not famous but a very known thing where they, like, I think it spiraled out of control was the Mall of Africa situation, where there was even a claim that someone died. That is wrong. Mall of Africa released a statement that no one died, but a lot of people were injured because they also cause fights. I don't know why they cause fights. It's kids. Can they fight? I want to know if it's fights among themselves or it's fights among other people. Because if you're causing fights among other people, that's just wrong. Why are you doing that? For your sake and my sake. Why are you doing that? I cannot fight to save my life. So imagine going to someone and like looking for a fight and a mall. You guys, South Africa's dangerous. Someone will pull a gun on you and be like, you want to start a fight with me? I will kill you right now. I will kill you right now. So don't start fights with people. So these boys is what they do. So at the Mall of Africa situation, they were raiding the mall. running around causing chaos. Some of them are fighting somewhere else. Some of them are riding the escalators. Some of them are going in and out of stores. Some of them are just running around. Some of them are in the food court just sitting, and some of them are just playing, doing whatever they want. But wow.
What happened at Mall of Africa?
I saw videos, but I couldn't figure out what was happening.
Apparently, you teenagers are wilding, and as the adults in the situation, I'm an elder now. I get called into elder meetings, guys. What is going on?
Do you know, Timbukile? Because must I go? Because this is what
You
this
go.
Is the
You're the
story.
one with teenagers.
So this is the story I got from my kids last night.
Thank you,
don't,
Lucia.
I mean, come through AfroCheck if you feel like it. So what happened was there's a group called Twizzies.
Luh Twizzies.
Luh Twizzies.
Yeah.
And they basically go around and they dress similar or whatever, and then they go to malls. So they've done this at Monte Casino before, and there's like 40 or 50 of them, and they just go in and like make a ruckus and take over, etc., etc.
Like making a noise, being a nuisance.
Yeah, just unruly,
vaping.
misbehaved. So I know that they've been banned from Monte Casino. And then now my kids tell me there was an incident at Mall of Africa on the weekend and someone was stabbed.
Times Live said it's not true that one person was killed, but on Saturday, a lot of people who are going to Mall of Africa were tweeting saying, guys, why are there so many groups of teenagers at this mall? And then before you know it, you'll see some of the videos. There was basically like a crowd of teenage boys going from one section of Mall of Africa to the next.
Just running and
Just being chaotic.
loud, yeah.
I really don't know why they do this. I really, really do not know why they do this. Because these groups, I would say these groups are very, I forgot the word, but it's negative, synonym for negative. Like, it's negative because this happens mainly when schools are closed. So like in December, because these happens in December because that's when schools are closed and the kids have nothing to do. I would also like to add that the lack of third-party spaces where kids can just be kids and play around and enjoy their free time is also something that contributes to something like this happening, where kids now feel like the only thing they can do is invade malls. So that is another thing, besides the increase of technology and other things, I feel like the lack of third-party spaces makes this a problem. I think the generation of technology and TV and watching too much TV has changed the mindset of children, because when I was growing up, let me be that kind of person. When I was growing up, at my time, I'm not that old. I'm a Gen Z. At my time, I would say I grew up, there was TV at home. We had DSTV at home. But I would say I wouldn't watch it a lot because I was out playing all the time. Every chance I could get, I would be outside. Even now, if I was in an environment which allowed me to be outside and play games, I would. But even when I'm at home and my grandmother's home, because there's kids my age, I play games a lot with the kids, even though I struggle. I realized that I can't run to save my life. So I feel like the iPad kids, just this thing of just giving a kid a screen and they just watch, it has deteriorated their minds a bit. And the kids, the reason they do this is because they are bored. And peer pressure, obviously, but you can run away from peer pressure because I believe everyone has it and everyone is succumbed to it. So, and that is my belief. I may be wrong. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that peer pressure and other things. But other people, they don't like to be known as a Luh Twizzy. For example, some people make it out of their way for them not to be called this certain type of group because it comes with so much negativity that being called that, it's like degrading to you as a person. So if you're a person who has an aesthetic and dresses to that aesthetic and someone calls you a Luh Twizzy, you feel so offended. And I saw so many Twitter comments on this, X comments on these, on like, some kid came up to me today and called me Luh Twizzy. I was so offended. This is just how I dress. Some people do have an aesthetic. Some people do like Y2K fashion. A lot of people do like Y2K fashion. And as Y2K fashion has had its resurgence, a lot of people are loving Y2K fashion. I never really understood the jeans on jeans, the shirts on shirts, the caps on caps, because Y2K I feel like Y2K is very about layering. You have to know your layers, but we're not talking about fashion. So as I know from now, these Luh Twizzy kind of kids are banned from certain malls, such as, you guessed it, Mall of Africa. So yeah, and it's something. I just think about what goes on to these people's minds when they're doing this, and a lot of people are blaming the parents for not like taking care of their children. But the thing is, a parent can, I don't know, I don't have a child, so I'll never understand this. A parent can only do so much for their kids until they decide not to listen anymore. Because if you give your child a phone at 10 years old and what they see goes on everyday life, they are gonna do that. And if something is trending, they are gonna try and be that. And if you just dismiss it as it's gonna pass, it won't pass. It will not pass. And your child will be one of these. Like some of these people, imagine being here. See, imagine being here and your child, I don't even know what to say about this because it's a lot. So some people believe, this is an article I'm taking off our friend Bubblegum Club. So they say that by looking at a certain urban black youth politics through the lens of the Luh Twizzy movement, one can begin to excavate it's a cultural formation as important as the site of identity and resilience. To do so gives the weight of the agency of the Luh Twizzy, giving the youth power to contest and negotiate. Okay, that's a take. Because other people feel like the Luh Twizzies are resisting something. I don't know, oppression, whatever oppression that they have. I don't know how resisting oppression is causing chaos in malls when people are trying to do the daily routine and just buy groceries and some clothes. So bubblegum, I feel like it went very sideways. When I read this article, I was like, because it talks about the black youth in its past and its representation on consumption. And I was so shocked. And they continue to say, their popular culture and music needs to be necessitized as a study of self-fashioning, true, and the meditation of the body and pleasure that arise from practices such as popular performance, highlighting the nuanced and contradictory relationship between popular culture performance as an embodied practice of vector and power, like race, class, and gender. That's where I don't get it, because to me this is sounding a little bit political. I don't know if the Luh Twizzy movement is political. I highly doubt it. I highly doubt even the people, they think that way. So I'm just like, how did you reach this take? But anyways, I liked it. You should read it. I'll link it below, as I said. And yeah, it's very hectic what these kids do. Not even people, what these kids do, because you find your 14-year-old boy doing this type of thing, and you just left him at home. So yeah, so closing remarks is stay in school, guys. Stay in school, don't do drugs, no alcohol until you're 18. Jiggy, now you're having a pusa face. Now you're looking 30, but you're 20. So, and respect other people's properties. These people, the Luh Twizzies, have been kicked out of so many malls and are banned from so many malls just because they want attention. I don't get that. Does anyone else get that?
Crickets. Crickets.
I'll assume no, because no one is answering me. So I don't get that. Yeah, so those are my closing remarks. Stay in school, be good, and treat other people's properties with respect. So that was my teeny tiny little bit Luh Twizzy video. This one, guys, I'm sick, so this one just needed not a lot, because I wanted to talk about my point of view in this Luh Twizzy type of situation. So it didn't need a lot of research, and my brain could not handle it at this moment in time. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna boil water. I'm gonna try and get some sleep. I don't think I am gonna get some sleep, but I'm gonna try and get some sleep, and we are going to be moving on. Like, subscribe, comment, do all the things you need to do. Turn on your bell, your post notification, and I'll see you next Sunday with another one. Bye.